back out with a videotape. She slid it into the VCR and sat on the edge of the couch beside me. With my left eye, I studied her pale, tear-streaked face. Her voice was low and calm. Mason, I know I've always told you your father was gone, but it's not true. He just can't be your father right now. Being 5, of course I asked when he could be my father, but she didn't answer. Just played the tape for me. A recording of a man in a green shirt, shown only as a torso, reading The Runaway Bunny. He could have been anyone from anywhere. His voice was not unique, no trace of an accent. Except for the blue butterfly tattooed on his right forearm, nothing about him was distinguishable. Not exactly the father I'd been dreaming about. But I was 5 and I'd just been scarred for life, and he said the word son before he started to read. So I snuggled against my mom and listened, really hard. And when Mr. Sheffer took poor Packer out back, I didn't even hear the gunshot. 1. In the last hour of the day, Mr. Hogan's sophomore biology class gathered around to watch the small, green-dotted, frilly snail slime its way up my arm. Taller than everyone, I looked down on heads as smells drifted up. To my left, someone had taco breath from lunch. And somewhere to my right was definitely the culprit who'd ripped the little sample of men's cologne out of the school library's latest issue of Sports Illustrated. Hogan rolled his wheelchair closer. Fridays were t-shirt day for the teachers if they paid $1 to the party fund in the office, and his declared, Soylent Green is people. So this intertidal nudibranch is not just any marine snail. Looks like it has a little green wig, said one of the girls. Our teacher continued. This snail can photosynthesize, which means? As always, Miranda Collins blurted out the answer before anyone else could. When a plant uses sunlight to make its own food. Suck up. But this isn't a plant. I couldn't tell who'd said that, but I was wondering the same thing. Aha! We have a genius! Hogan pointed at the snail. That is not a plant, but it eats zooxanthellae, organisms that eat algae, and algae, of course, are plants. That makes no sense. Although my eyes were on the snail, I felt heads turn up in my direction and it got quiet. Odd for teenagers, but it probably had to do with the fact that, after the dog incident, I didn't speak in school until 5th grade. I'm not sure if it was due to the trauma, although that's what both the speech pathologist and school psychiatrist told my mom. I think it was more a matter of my not having much to say. But since then, when I did open my mouth in class, it was still considered a bit of a novelty, I guess because everyone tended to get quiet and listen. I mean, I eat plants, but I can't photosynthesize. Humans are... I searched for the word we just learned that describes organisms that have to get their nutrients from other organisms. Heterotrophic. We can't feed ourselves. Hogan nodded. Exactly. The zooxanthellae evolved so they could retain the cells of the algae, which are responsible for photosynthesis. Evolution, anyone? Changes that take place in a species over time. Miranda again. Exactly. And so in the case of the zooxanthellae, you are what you eat. They became autotrophic, self-feeders. And the nudibranchs have evolved to do the same thing. Mr. Hogan? Miranda Collins waved her hand. Is this on the quiz? He growled at her. Not everything is on the quiz, but that doesn't mean it's not worth knowing. I moved my arm closer and stared at the snail. So why is this worth knowing? Well, technically, this proves that an organism can turn autotrophic. He pointed at my arm. Skin graft those snails all over your body in a sunny climate, and eventually you wouldn't have to eat or drink ever again. A few of the girls let out groans and prolonged ews, while some of the boys laughed. No thanks. I like cheeseburgers too much. I gently picked the snail off my arm and set it in the glass tank on Hogan's desk. Thanks, Mason. Hogan rolled back behind his desk as we took our seats. Anyone heard of Jiri Bala? Most of us either shook our heads or didn't respond at all. With a remote, he turned on the projector, starting a black and white PowerPoint. The first grainy photo showed 2 old women wrapped in loose robe.